Sometimes people say, "Well, why should I have a plan?" Because every time I produce one, it fails, and that's true with a lot of organizations. I've been part of the planning process institutionally as an employee. I've been a part of it as a facilitator with clients that we've had over the years, and sometimes when we produce the plan, we bring it to the faculty or the administration and the board, and there's always somebody that says, "Well, that's never going to happen." He says, "This is just version 476 of the 477 plans, that have been presented over the course of the year," and we just kind of look at them, we kind of blow them off, because essentially they don't see the plan really being activated, because essentially a plan is a vision, but if you don't articulate the plan to achieve the plan, then the realities are it's not going to occur. It becomes essentially a good idea, but we don't have two things that make it important. First of all, the quantifiable steps that need to occur on an annual basis to assure that the plan is completed. In other words, in 1978, this is an illustrating, I think, an interesting illustration. In 1978, Bill Bright stood in front of a group of people and said, "I want to make sure that 4.5 billion people have the opportunity of seeing the Jesus film by the year 2000. It was a staggering vision. I mean, 4.5 billion people at that particular time in the history of the world was everybody on the planet. It was an enormous venture because it meant changing and translating the Jesus film into the languages of the people of the earth, and not just the languages of the people, but even the dialects of some that had to be translated that represented groups of 500 or less. And so, if you were to look at the plan for that, there were things that were done year after year from 1978 all the way up to the year 2000, that 12-year period of time, where essentially, or 22-year period of time, where essentially, we were going to do this in year one, this in year two, this in year three. And it's the quantifiable fact, because if a message, if a strategic plan doesn't have quantification, it's not a plan, it's a good idea. Now, on the other side, for every one of those things to be realized, you need resources. And there are three essential resources that drive the planning process. You have people, you have time, and you have money. In other words, in order to achieve those particular objectives, there need to be people engaged. You need to have the time to get it done. You have the resources to do it. So there's a whole other part of the work of development that includes a development director, for all intents and purposes, that basically facilitates the administration strategically of the resources so that this can be done. And when that's missing, then the realities are the inevitability is a failed plan.